We are live, and hello everyone. Welcome to this week's still social distancing edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined via smartphone by Jedi Jason Kruger, and I feel like before we get to the intro, there's a very important part of the show that I should just discuss. There's going to be a major change to the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show going forward. From now on, we will only be covering WWE material on the show. Just the YouTube algorithm is focusing a lot more on the AEW portion of the wrestling YouTube community, and I figure that it'd probably be in our best interest to try and stand out. So that's why we're only going to cover WWE shows, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. We're definitely, and also whenever, you just have, the superior business acumen of a Vince McMahon. What's the point of even supporting this AEW company, because Vince McMahon's just going to eventually crush it? So let's just not waste our time. Let's not waste our time liking what other internet virgins like, and let's like the WWE. It's April fucking Fool's Day, because fuck that fucking noise. We will cover all wrestling here on the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, Jedi Jason Kruger, via smartphone here to encourage social distancing. If you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and I have been watching wrestling together for over 15 years. We love wrestling. We love sharing our love of pro wrestling with all of you out there. However, we're not insiders. We're not pro wrestlers. We avoid insider terms because we're fans just like all of you. At the end of the day, we're just two marks. And quick little rundown of Dynamite. In a rare break from tradition, I'm just going to give a quick rundown of Dynamite. I thought it was a great episode. I feel like AEW has handled this significantly better. They've changed their venue, but I felt like whatever venue they moved to was really well done. Had a great night of action. Trent and Kenny had a really awesome match. They're seeing the further inspiration to the Exalted One being just Vince McMahon's quirks is also pretty fun. And great tag match to end it. There was a 10-foot coffin drop from Darby Allin, so that was pretty.
10 foot.
Yeah, he climbed up like a pole and then coffin dropped onto Guevara and Spears. Yeah, that was great. 3 marks. Did I typo this? No, there's no 3 marks. It's just 2 marks. I don't know what you're talking about, Ray. Yeah, it was great. They've announced for their secondary championship the TNT title. I know what. They have announced the full bracket, but I will not be running a competition on this one because it's only 4 people. And the finals will be at Double or Nothing. So if it was a bigger tournament, sure, but in this case, nah. Unfortunately, we're not going to run that. But we are running a WrestleMania predictions contest. Because this year it's just a standard pay-per-view. The WrestleMania predictions contest is just going to be the standard prizes in the giveaway. First prize, DVD, figure, comic book, and T-shirt. Second prize, figure and comic book. Third prize, comic book. All cool swag you can win. Must enter on my social media pages, either at facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter @athletic_geek89, or on Instagram @athleticgeek89. And we're just gonna get into these predictions, and we're gonna send you home. Jedi, if you please.
Indeed. Alright, so these are the announced matches as of now, which have already been filmed, so...
So I want to point out for the record, if spoilers leak, the contest is void. Because, yeah. But go on, Jedi.
Alright, so we'll start at the bottom here. with Otis versus Dolph Ziggler with Mandy Rose.
I think Mandy's going to just fully join Dolph and Otis loses. Vince McMahon would not like Otis. Vince McMahon would like Dolph. I'm going with the man who introduced me to Bud Light Seltzer, Dolph Ziggler.
I can't disagree. I don't think this is going to be the feel-good moment of the show.
Is there going to be a feel-good moment on this show?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and predict some, I guess, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, we got the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
I'm going to go Kabuki Warriors in this one.
Same. I mean, it doesn't make any real
I think
sense.
I think you're finally going to see the rift form between Nikki and
Yeah, that could be. So we're shooting right through here. We got.
This is gonna be a short episode, guys. This is gonna be a short episode. We're gonna try and come back with some big ones, but this is. I do want to point before I forget. I do want to point this out. I know like nobody expected a pandemic, but just look at like what a difference 1 year makes. Last year, we had a 2-parter with Takeover and WrestleMania, hyping up all the shows I'm going to. We're finishing up the show. I'm going to bed. I'm getting 5 hours of sleep and getting on an airplane and going to WrestleMania. And there's a bunch of excitement. And now the WrestleMania predictions episode is literally, let's get through this and go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Because Jedi and I, IRL, are essential workers.
Yep.
And that's all you need to know about our jobs.
All right. So, but I guess I will point out, it's a 2-night event. They got 16 matches on this card, so good grief. Guess that's 8 per night. Anyway.
I'd rather be 8 per night and last, 3-4 hours over 2 nights than 7 fucking hours.
Yes. So much agreed. So Sami Zayn is defending his Intercontinental Championship against Daniel Bryan.
I'm going Sami Zayn in this one. I heard that, in real life that Daniel Bryan is going to choose to quarantine and be with his, after WrestleMania. So
I can't disagree with that decision.
Nope. Especially with him, who probably doesn't, have a very high immune system and probably only relies on natural. I'm not criticizing his lifestyle for someone who doesn't really probably do a whole heck of a lot of modern medicine. That's probably for the best.
Right. And he's got 2 kids now, right?
1 and 1 on the way. Like you.
Yep.
So I believe old Sami Zayn's going to finally get a big WrestleMania win here.
Yep.
In what could be the match of the weekend.
Right. And next we got, on here anyway, Edge versus Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing match.
I'm going to go with Edge in this one. Feel like if he's coming back, it's one of 2 things. If Edge is coming back to actually wrestle again, I feel like Edge will win. If this is his last match, Randy Orton's going to win. But I feel like they maybe have a few more things in store for Edge. So I'm going to go Edge in this one.
Gotcha. I'm gonna be argumentative and go with Randy Orton.
There you go.
No. I think we all know who's winning this next one, but we'll go ahead and say it anyway. And I'm not sure who's actually planning on watching this, but all right, it's Elias versus King Corbin.
I'm going King Corbin in this one.
So am I.
I don't want it to be King Corbin, but but with WWE thinks they have something with him. I don't get it, but they think
retired Kurt Angle.
Yeah, they think they have something with King Corbin, and I don't see him just. You know, him losing to Roman Reigns made sense. Roman's a top guy.
Yeah.
Elias isn't, so you might as well kind of keep that the villainous ways among King Corbin in this one.
Yep.
You know, but much like New Japan is with Jay White, you know, I don't see why they keep pushing Jay White. I don't see why they keep pushing, Baron Corbin. So there you go. Yeah, I'm taking a pot shot Jay White. Fuck yeah. Any chance I can take a pot shot Jay White.
So here's an interesting one. I think I already know who's going to win, but still, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley.
I'm going to go Aleister Black in this one.
I mean, I'm going to be real upset if it's not Aleister Black.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, no offense to Bobby Lashley, but I mean,
Do we love Bobby? Do we love Bobby?
Oh, wow, that's a blast from the past.
Do we love Bobby? Bobby Lashley is gonna shave Vince McMahon's head. When you're gonna shave him, Matt, gonna shave your, we love Bobby.
You know, you're just making me miss Umaga now.
Sorry.
All right. So, Raw Tag Team Championship: Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza.
I'm going Street Profits in this one. They just won the titles. Might as well roll with it.
I would agree. Hey, shout out to Austin Theory for suddenly getting on a WrestleMania card out of nowhere.
I know, right? Shit, good for him. It's the worst WrestleMania. I mean, like, okay, it is the worst WrestleMania of all time. It may have a great. I'm gonna explain myself before people take this one soundbite and roll with it. This is the one. It's the worst WrestleMania of all time because it has no crowd. You could have 16 8-star matches that make fucking Okada and Omega look like the Jackie Gata mixed tag match from Raw. And it'll still be the worst WrestleMania ever because there's... Unless they really find a cool way to... And even then, I still would go that because there's no audience to connect to. There's no, reaction like with Hogan slamming Andre, or the Yes movement coming to fruition, or
it's just going to be a whole different beast. If they do it right, it's just not going to be the same.
Even if it's, I'm not. That doesn't mean saying that it still can't be a very, very well done show.
Oh yeah, no, I'm hoping.
But it will. But when we look back at WrestleMania, we're gonna go fucking coronavirus ruined fucking WrestleMania, made that the worst one.
There's a giant asterisk beside this one for all time.
Which is why beating that dead horse, and I don't have the hammer, but even if I did, I wouldn't run the risk of hitting Jedi anymore, so it's not that big of a deal. It's why I feel like they should take half of these matches and air them now. And then, if this ever concludes, you put the big matches that could do with the crowd, i.e. Lesnar and fucking McIntyre, Shayna and Becky, fucking
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Let the matches, let there be a few undercard matches. Let matches like The Fiend and Bray, or The Fiend and Cena, and AJ and Taker, where you can kind of work around no crowd, and actually maybe even make them better with no crowd. And play some, have those now. Call it WrestleMania Part 1. Give the people in the world a distraction from this horrible pandemic, which is a good thing. I'm not gonna say that continuing with this with a noble goal in mind is bad, but you are essentially ruining some good matches by not having a crowd. I'll even, as much as I've been praising AEW for how they've handled it better and kind of they've built an atmosphere, as great as Trent and Omega was this week, and as great as Sammy and Omega was last week, and as great as, a lot of these matches have been, imagine how good they would have been with a hot crowd that gave a shit.
Right.
As great as, Sammy and Kenny especially, if it would have had a fucking crowd, it would have been amazing. You know, it was just very good because there's no crowd. So there's my tangent, and that's why, you know, when people take this little sound bite and go, "Huh, fuck it, sucks to be you fucking AEW piece of shit fanboy, saying this is the worst thing ever. Fucking John Cena and The Fiend was better than anything AEW ever did. Hardy har har WWE." There's why I said what I said.
Right.
Let's continue.
Yeah. Hot take: John Cena versus Wyatt and Taker versus Styles are actually going to be improved by the fact that there's no audience.
Maybe not Wyatt and Cena, but
I mean, Cena's involved. Otherwise, I don't know.
He's Big Match John for a reason.
This is true. And Taker is in there with Styles, so maybe I should have a little.
What the Boneyard match that could benefit from. Yeah.
Hold on, we're getting there. All right, so Street Profits are winning the.
I'm going with Street Profits. Yes.
Championships. Yep, I agree. Triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship as Miz and Morrison defend against the New Day and the Usos.
I'm gonna go New Day in this one. No. I'm going Usos. I'm gonna change my prediction. I'm going Usos.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's kind of.
They're turning it.
Well, I'm torn. I feel like the titles are changing hands, but, you know, it's kind of like. I feel like it's going to be Usos because I feel like, you know, Kofi had the big moment last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't feel like they'll give it to him this year. I feel like they'll kind of, you know, and.
Right. This will actually be the first championship so far that we've read off that you didn't predict the retention on.
Yeah. So I believe the title will change hands, and I'm gonna go Usos.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm gonna go with Miz and Morrison still retaining, just like they did at the Elimination Chamber somehow, barely.
Okay.
Just a miracle, even though, you know, they established the other two are the clear powerhouse teams. Miz and Morrison still scrape by.
Oh yeah.
Nothing they do. At least that's how I interpret it.
Right.
Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
I'm gonna go KO in this one. I feel like we're predicting a lot of unfortunate endings. I feel like this is gonna be one. I feel like we're gonna get one happy ending, and this is gonna be one of them.
Gotcha. I'm actually gonna go the other direction and say Seth Rollins wins this one.
Okay.
He does have a lot of henchmen in backup, which may not be there, but
social distancing.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna use that. Just be like, "See, I told you." You know, I don't know. That's what I'm going with. Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a Boneyard match.
I'm going with Taker.
I mean,
because after that interview on Raw where basically Taker said, "My wife's better than you," they're not gonna let The Undertaker lose 3 matches at a WrestleMania. One of them to the man who, he has established his probably, you know, he has had a fantastic run in WWE, better than I thought he was going to have. He's still looked at as the outsider who, you know, he's still the other brand's guy despite everything he's done in WWE, and I don't think they're going to let The Undertaker lose to AJ at a WrestleMania. You know, after all these things he said about Undertaker, they're not going to let it look like this guy is better than, you know, the Don of the fucking locker room. No way. And
yeah, it's going to be Undertaker, especially now that it's a Boneyard match and all that. It's just going to be.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the thing. Yep.
Which
But
mean,
hopefully it'll be good. So.
which means that fucking we get another fucking year of Undertaker coming back. It hurts me, and it kills me on the inside to see it because I love the Undertaker, and seeing him like
I hear
this
you.
hurts me. But
I hear
whatever.
you.
All right, next match.
Alright, yeah. Bailey defends against Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina in a fatal 5-way elimination match. Which means there have to be 4 pinfalls. 4 submissions.
There was another wrestling YouTube channel that made a predictions video or what they want to happen kind of video or what have you.
Oh yes, I know what you're speaking of.
And did a very good job. And I'm pretty much gonna steal what they said. I feel like it's gonna come down. I feel like it's gonna come down to Bailey and Sasha.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
when Sasha has the opportunity to go full-blown villainous, it won't happen. And Bailey will go, fuck you and fuck our friendship, I'm the fucking champion. And, yeah, I feel like that's actually going to happen because then you can take... As much as I really don't care for Sasha Banks, you know, I feel like she's overrated. And I'm not saying she's bad, I just feel like she's overrated. I would like to see them kind of rekindle the NXT program, but with the roles reversed. And I feel like that's what they're going to do.
Gotcha. So Bailey retains here, and then it leads to
Yes,
a single.
Bailey retains.
Gotcha. Yeah, hard to disagree with the logic. I'm going to have to jump on that train.
All right.
I mean, it's not going to be Tamina.
No.
That's my
Here's the thing. I'm not trying to be mean to Tamina, but every time I see her in a match, I just think, she's still there? Really?
Yes. No, yeah, I know. No, I agree. All right. John Cena versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in a Firefly Funhouse match.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Prove me wrong, WWE. Prove me wrong. Prove me fucking wrong that you're not going to fuck this up. You fucked it up before. You fucked it up. You fucked Bray Wyatt up at WrestleMania 30. You fucked The Fiend up, having him lose to that has-been Goldberg. Prove me wrong. Until I'm proven wrong, there's going to be a winner, and his name is John Cena. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, you're right, for sure. But I'm going to go out on that hopeful limb and say that Bray Wyatt actually wins this. And be wrong. I'm going to be okay with that. Obviously, I'm still
You're hoping for the best, and you know you're going to be wrong. I'm hoping for the best, and I know I'm going to be right.
There you go. Yep.
There you go.
It's a lot harder to be disappointed when you set the bar so low, you know? What's impressive is when you set the bar like right on the ground and they still disappoint you. It's like, wow. Anyway.
Yep.
So, here we go. We're into the big ones now. We got Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship.
I am going with Charlotte. I feel like...
That's a pretty safe bet.
I feel like... Again, I was thinking this before I saw another wrestling YouTuber give kind of the same opinion I had, but... Doesn't matter what I say, but I was kind of thinking something very similar is I feel like Charlotte's going to win. They're going to let her roll with the NXT title. Hope that having Charlotte as a mainstay helps NXT overtake AEW on Wednesday nights. And then eventually lose to Bianca Belair. Yeah. Also, when the pandemic ends, I also feel like they might also move Daniel Bryan to NXT.
Uh,
I feel like they've realized they can't. They got to really put. I'm not saying bring all the stars, but I feel like once all this ends, they're gonna put names. You got Charlotte. You're gonna have Finn. You're gonna have Bryan. You may even have AJ reemerge on NXT after he gets buried in a boneyard. Um,
right.
and they're gonna go. I think Triple H realized this is a war, and I think that these people like this will be happy to be in NXT, and they won't see it as like a problem.
Right.
But I'm going Charlotte. Uh, Charlotte loses to or beats Rhea only to make somebody else bigger down the line.
It's a really good idea. I. I think I'm going to go a little off the rails here and say they actually give Ripley a giant win.
Interesting.
But, like, so barely that Charlotte can't let it go.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So it becomes like her deranged chase after that or whatever.
Right.
So that would be interesting. So I'm going to go with it. That's very unlikely compared to your prediction, but I'm going to go with it.
Hey.
I've been inhaling grass fumes today here. Like, I cut the grass. And you would not believe how many times you had to yell at a 6-year-old to get away from the lawnmower. Anyway, all right. So then we got Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship.
I'm going Shayna Baszler. The man has had the man has rolled with this for a year. I'm even repping her right now, but I believe that it's Shayna's time. It's Shayna's time. It's Shayna time.
It's Shayna time. I agree. All right. So we got Goldberg versus to be determined. It was supposed to be Roman Reigns, but that has been confirmed to be no.
I've heard rumor and innuendo says Braun Strowman.
I've heard that rumor as well.
This might be confirmed on SmackDown, so who knows?
Right, that's true. I'm going to go out on a limb no matter who it is and say it's going to be anybody but Goldberg because he was never meant to keep carrying this belt.
I am going to go the opposite.
Ooh.
I say Goldberg is going to go with it until he can lose to Roman Reigns.
Gotcha.
I feel like Goldberg was given that belt to eventually lose it to Roman Reigns.
I mean,
and he's right. and while it may not be at a WrestleMania, if it's SummerSlam, if it's Money in the Bank, it's still like it's kind of. And I'm not, as you're well aware, I'm not a Roman fan whatsoever, but this whole thing would be dumb if he loses to anybody not named Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. You make a good point. Like, I can't disagree with you, but I already went with anybody but Goldberg. I'm going to stick with it. But, I mean, make a pretty solid point there. They've had an absentee champion before. They can do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Because that other one, Brock Lesnar, is defending against Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I'm going with Drew.
I'm going Brock. Again, I don't feel like... I don't want Lesnar to be the champion either.
No.
But... And I want Drew to win. And if this were WrestleMania without a pandemic, I'd be going Drew. But I feel like WWE will think, no. Drew Lesnar, you can only conquer the beast if there's people around to see the beast conquered. And I feel like if he walks out with the title, he can just hold it until next year and you can try again. Or hold it until or hold it until SummerSlam and try again, or see if you have a super show other than SummerSlam in the fall, to make up for the lack of WrestleMania. Have a big show in the Garden, and then give it to Drew there. Have a big show in Europe, and give it to Drew there. That's what I feel like they could. I feel like they're going to save this moment. And I'm probably giving them too much fucking credit. They're going to save this moment to where there's an audience that can appreciate Drew winning.
Gotcha.
So I feel like they're going to have Brock win this one. Drew will win. Not now.
Gotcha. See, introspectively, we've already made our claims, and I'm not going to go double back on it now, but I could see, I almost think now they may keep it on Goldberg, but I still kind of lean towards they're going to give McIntyre it, so we don't have two absentee champions. But I see your logic.
I mean, it's not WrestleMania, but imagine if they do a show in Scotland.
Yeah.
Like they're doing a European tour and they have a big show in Scotland and they have Drew win it there. Yeah, it's not WrestleMania, but fuck. Or they have a European tour and he wins it there. Or they decide that, hey, we're going to have a big, big, big fucking supercard not called WrestleMania in Tampa to make up for it. Or a big... this won't happen, but like, hey, they bring back, they have an they have a takeover, and McIntyre says, I've won the NXT title at a takeover. Lesnar's gonna come to takeover and defend the belt, and I feel like there's a way it won't be a WrestleMania moment, but nothing's a WrestleMania moment this year, so maybe it would be best. I feel if you hold off until you can get a crowd for Drew.
Right.
So I would, if I was the one running WWE, I would have Lesnar retain somehow, and you just keep her going. You just keep her going until Drew can have a real moment. And you find a way without that WrestleMania name to make it special for Drew.
Yeah. Well, at least we didn't parrot each other this time.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit, but
smart money and all that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining the WrestleMania predictions episode.
Ray, thanks for joining us. I know it's not our normal day, but we figured we'd just get this knocked out.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content. Coming at a significantly slower rate because, the world's gone to hell, but I'll keep doing what I can to bring you fun content. Go like all my social media pages.
I want to interrupt you real quick. So, the contest is going to be on your normal social medias?
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Yes.
All right, when's the voting start? When's it start?
The voting will start tonight. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. And you have until an hour before night one of WrestleMania starts.
Okay, and night one starts on Saturday, people. So.
Yes. Yep. So.
All right, just making sure that all of our viewers know for the contest where to look, when to look.
And you must enter on a social media page, and you must enter publicly. You cannot direct message me or anything of that nature to enter. If you direct message me your entry, it will not be a valid entry because you got to make it public so no one can claim you cheat.
Yep.
So
comment on Facebook, comment on Instagram, or tweet the Twitter.
All of that, but you must enter on the social media pages, and you must make your entry public, and you must have it done before WrestleMania begins. And and also, if it's a title match, you must also predict if the winner and if the title change hands, because those are worth 2 points.
Yeah.
So enter on all my social media pages: Facebook.com/AthleticGeek89, Twitter @Athletic_Geek89, Instagram @AthleticGeek89. That's where you can follow me. That's where you can enter Jedi does not have anything like that because he's got kids and one on the way and does not have time for that bullshit. But hit me up. I'll forward a message if you got one for him. But for a socially distant Jedi Jason Kruger, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks. And we're out. See ya.
Later.